Here are the common categories of medieval double-edged sword, but you shouldn't think that medieval swords are restricted to these categories. We start with the short sword, which is self-explanatory, and even though I'm holding a gladius, there were many medieval swords of this length. Often misidentified as a long sword, the classic medieval one-handed sword is actually called the arming sword. The next sword is the bastard sword, which is an interesting one because it also enters us into the long sword category. It's more stereotypically identified as being able to be used in one hand or two, but actually not as long as you find on dedicated two-handed swords. The most representative size of long swords are swords of this size, and you'll find the handles are longer so you can fit two hands on it easier, and the blade, again, longer than your standard bastard sword. Looking at the differences right here. When we get to the larger end of longsword, there's confusion between the crossover between longsword and greatsword. Swords of this size have sometimes been identified as both. This has given rise to a popularity of a new category, war sword, because authentic greatswords are much bigger. In summary, we have short sword, arming sword, bastard sword, long sword, war sword, and great sword.
This is the katana though.
Son of a